Hi everyone, my name is Declan.
And I'm Jeil.
And today we're going to learn about
Filipino culture, yay!
So Jeil, could you tell us about your favorite dish from your culture?
Okay, so my favorite dish would be lechon, and the most famous area that sells lechon is in Cebu.
Wait, what's lechon?
Okay, so lechon is the Filipino version of Chinese roast pork.
Oh, like
and
cereal.
yeah. And so for Philippines, it's inspired by the Chinese roast pork because of our roots, having a Chinese community from very long ago. Yeah. The difference between lechon and roast pork is that for roast pork, it's fried very quickly. That's why you get the bubbly texture on top of the skin. But then for Filipino lechon, it's kind of like glass, because of how it's slow roasted for I think a whole day.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So where would you recommend someone go to try this Filipino
Lechon
food?
Republic.
Lechon Republic?
It's in Novena. Novena Regency. Yeah, Novena Regency. It's a 5-minute walk from Novena MRT, and I frequent this place I think once every 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides your delicious food, is there anything else that makes you proud to be a Filipino?
I think what makes me the most proud of my country would be our hospitality, which is what a lot of people from other countries know us for. For example, there's the Mascara Festival in Bacolod, which is where I'm from, and the history and the law behind that is it kind of, because of hardships in the past, the city started this festival to bring in to uplift people's moods.
Right.
That's why for the Mascara Festival, the most prominent thing would be the masks, which have smiley faces, big smiley faces. So, and I think that represents Filipino culture in general.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, because it's smile even though you're going through hardships. It's at least you know that there's still something you can look forward to, kind of thing. Yeah. Also we're also smiling at everyone and just trying to help each other.
So is there something you wish Singaporeans would know more about the Filipino culture?
I think,
or maybe another way of saying it is there a stereotype about Filipino people that you want to dispel?
Right, okay, so the most controversial, or say the most upsetting stereotype that I find would be the stereotype of Filipinos just being maids, and just maids, or just construction workers. And while I understand that seems to appear the case because of how a lot of Filipinos do come to Singapore to find work in these industries where a lot of locals don't wish to find a job in.
Yeah.
It's also a bit upsetting for me personally because when I hear these kind of stereotypes directed at me, there's a tone of there's a condescending tone of as if looking down on me, oh, you're just going to be this.
Yeah.
You're just going to be this stereotype, which I don't really appreciate because I don't think there's a case at all. For example, I'm studying alongside other locals in university. I don't think I'm just going to be a maid. That's not how it works, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And also you also need to consider right, they may be a maid or a helper right now, working in Singapore, but also consider that back home, maybe they rightfully earn their own degrees.
Yeah.
For example, I think my aunt, she has a bachelor's in engineering back home, but she came here to earn a better salary because the opportunities like back home are not very good.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's one stereotype that I hope people try not to stick to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because there's more to us. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you for sharing for that. Is there something you wish Singapore would do more like the Philippines?
I think it's the lack of like kampong like spirit.
Like community?
There's a lack of community. I wouldn't say complete lack of, it's just not as common anymore. Like for example, in like living in HDBs, I feel like it's made us view things very pragmatically. And I just learned about this also in art history just now. Like the HDB design is kind of like inspired by this artist who started it. His name is Le Corbusier or something. But he made the design to be like blockish for efficiency and pragmatism, and then Singapore like took it over also, right?
Yeah.
That's why we have HDBs everywhere. Yeah. And then in Philippines, I feel like it's very different there because you still see like big houses and open gardens, and I feel like that's a representation of like the community spirit because there's essentially a physical space
for everyone
to meet, right? Like which is not something common here, and it's kind of like it has a deeper like meaning of like the community spirit still being kept alive and strong in Philippines. Like for example, for my birthday, like if I celebrate it over there, my grandma used to invite everybody. I wouldn't even know like half the people there, but they were there, and it was just free flow food and karaoke until 2 a.m. and it's very fun. But then here it's like you can't really do that because you have like 30 cm of corridor space.
Yeah, not a lot of space to get together.
Yeah, and if you do have the space, you're probably very well off. Yeah.
So, going from a community like that in the Philippines to Singapore, what was the transition like for you?
Okay, for me it was quite easy because I moved here when I was 4. So I didn't have much difficulty transitioning from Philippines to Singapore because I quickly learned picked up the English language, and I even like studied Chinese. And then my parents were also putting me in a lot of classes to like expose me to the new culture here and the new like languages and the new food. But I do remember having this memory of being in nursery, and for I think 2 months straight, every time I woke up from my nap, I would be crying and screaming in Tagalog for my mom. I think this was right when I just came to Singapore, and I still remember the feeling, like even though it was super long ago, like I still remember the feeling of confusion and desperation because I was crying in a foreign language as a 4-year-old kid.
That no one understood.
That no one understood.
Yeah.
Luckily the only thing they understood was Mama, I guess. So there's that. Yeah, and I'm just imagining like if it was that bad for me as a 4-year-old kid, and right now I have barely any memory of it. I'm just imagining like what about the adults or like the late teens who like move here for like better education and for better jobs. Just like how would they be feeling if that was what a 4-year-old like felt.
It must be tough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for taking the time to come for the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, bye.